killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So then you said that they put millions of my access. Yes, you said. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. That's right. One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home. Only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe the slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting. The trail of my tears is countless. The fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles will make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be. Slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash. Get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood cell. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in this body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they make an oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in a world of mad shooters. There was designed fire for our babies to pass through it. And the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
I got you. Let it ride real quick. Look. The city eyes, it's time to vote God. My God, a real nigga, cause he wasn't no flaw. Posted on the corner like a watchdog. Family secure, got that shotty in the closet by the mob ball. Fuck what they heard, but tell them it's all true. Be cautious, that foundation voltage and fall through. They gon' fall. Look, I keep this shit 50 times 2. Ain't no more heart in this game, I'm John Q. Colder than the avalanche, way above average. Vince taste sweet, told him make me an apple tree. Left us in the valley full of bones, this where hope found. Child become a man, dark sands get broke down. riding through Evanston with Mark Quad. Telling me how them crackers turn this child into a ghost town. Focus out, nigga, I lay that game down. I feel his pain, cause nothing is the same now. Let my light shine like heaven through a rain cloud. Glock have a fit like my child, no tangent. Try to warn them niggas, we bear arms like tarantula. Them other niggas rap, I make anthems. I really see prophets under this banner. Made my enemies bow down on camera. Told my design I wanted black and white like a panda. I'm better than that nigga that sunk dirty Diana. Look, I move like a Brazilian, precious cargo, spirit ancient, but I got a new semi-auto. Wave that bitch around like where's Wardo. Sleep if they won't, I cut through they Z's like I'm Zorro. Pay me for his name, so I gotta keep that steel clutch. Trust me, I'm not what you think. I squeeze till it click like Dorothy when the heels touch. The world got me dumb, I don't feel much. Ride around with Yara down, just left the state bridge. Looking for a bitch better than Baby's kid. Remember I dropped Quiet Storm, I've been gone ever since. Still in the field, fuck them niggas on the fence, yeah.
All right, Shalom Israel, Yabashim Yashar, a thumb to the brothers, Yabashim thumb Bashim Yashar to the sisters. I'm Police Officer Parag holding down the Wednesday law class for the ISUPK out of Arizona. If you're watching online, you can see at the very bottom of the screen our class location, which is 12416 North 28th Drive. We're in suite number 4, all right, right off of 28th Drive in Cactus. We have classes every Tuesday through Friday from 7 to 9 p.m., and we hold our Sabbath services every Saturday from 11 to 1 p.m. All right. So if you watch online, you can see the title for today's class, which is This Is Not Your Rest. Of course, we get that from scripture. And there's a context to what that's saying. What is this talking about? What do you mean this is not your rest? What does that mean? My home, my bed. What are you talking about? This scripture that we're going to go into today is talking about the land of your captivity, which is where we are here in America. Right now, we are in our land of captivity, all right? And it's very easy because our oppressor is so cunning and so subtle, it's very easy for us to get caught up in American lifestyle and believe that this is what God intended for us. Believe that we should be comfortable here, right? We're going to read in the book of Micah that this is not a place that we should be comfortable in. We shouldn't be comfortable having our kids go to school. And in the library section of their school, they got an LGBT section. Like, we shouldn't be comfortable with that. We shouldn't be comfortable feeling like we should either vote for the lesser of two evils. We shouldn't be comfortable with that. We shouldn't be comfortable with what the entertainment industry pushes, on our children. We shouldn't be comfortable with that. And so Micah is going to tell us, which is a man that was a prophet, and he told us not to get comfortable in the land when our oppressor decides that he's going to be the one that's in charge. Because when our oppressor is in charge, we mourn. That's straight out of scripture, right? When the wicked are in charge, the people mourn. The only time that we can have a good life and be comfortable is if the righteous are in authority. So we're going to start off in Micah, the 2nd chapter. All right. And we're going to start at verse 10, but then we're going to drop back down to the beginning. But I want to get this scripture in particular because it's the basis for this class. It's the basis for what we're talking about today. So if I could, can you get Micah 2 and verse 10?
The book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart.
So now this is Micah making a prophecy to tell the children of Israel to arise and leave, depart. Go ahead.
For this is not your rest.
So now this place that we're talking about is not just get out of your bed and leave because you shouldn't be going to sleep. That's not what this is talking about. This prophecy is about a specific landmass. All right. It's talking about being in a certain place that you think you should be comfortable in. But in all actuality, you should get the hell out of there. You should run for your life. Right. Like I said, I want to read this first and then we'll go back down and we'll read the context on this. So this is not your rest. Go ahead.
Come. For it is polluted.
It's
because it is polluted.
Right. It's polluted. This place that you're at, this place is polluted. It's dirty. You don't want to become a part of it. You don't want to become a part of that filth. The Lord wants you to be what does the Lord say? He says, be holy. You understand? Being holy means what? To be separate. And he wants you to be separate, especially from the filthiness that is America today. Now, I will tell you this. This prophecy initially, the prophecy that Micah is making is talking about the invasion of Jerusalem. And he's saying, even though this is where you live, right? Get out of here. Because we're going to read in just a second that a group of people have come in and just absolutely made this place filthy and disgusting. So this is not where you're supposed to rest. Now, we apply this same scripture to today, and I'm going to show y'all why, with prophecy, why this is still talking about America, right? Let's keep going.
Even with a sword destruction, it shall destroy you. Okay. Even with a sword destruction.
If you stay in this place that's polluted, it's going to destroy you. If you stay in America, if you keep your ideology or you keep your ideals or your morals based around America, you're going to become destroyed. You're going to be okay with homosexuality. You're going to be okay with prostitution, which everybody loves that. Everybody loves OnlyFans and all of these different things where women are now allowed to legally prostitute themselves. You're going to become one with that. You're going to be okay with Zaya Wade, which that is not that boy's name. That boy's name is Zion, which is a damn shame, and it's spiritual. Like the Lord is telling us, come out of this place. Come out of this place. Don't have the mindset like Dwayne Wade has, where you can allow your woman to run your entire life, and she could tell your son, which is not her son, but is your son, and she could tell your son, it's okay if you want to be a girl, we'll dress you up like a girl, we'll start giving you hormone. Don't allow yourself to become polluted with the ideology that is America. Let's drop down to the first verse to understand where we have to depart from, right? Because this is not our rest. Verse 1.
The book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity.
This is talking, woe to them that devise iniquity. To devise iniquity means to come up with crafty ways to make us sin. To make us sin and for them to do evil towards us, right? That's a crafty way for them to be evil towards us and to get us to sin against our God, which is exactly what's happened to Dwayne Wade. I just saw this, and the reason why I'm bringing up Dwayne Wade, I just saw his picture. It damn near broke my heart and made me angry at the same time, because I saw this picture where his son, if you didn't know the story of Dwayne Wade, you would think that little boy is a girl, because he has the flat iron hair, and they gave him so many goddamn hormones. His face is starting to structure like a goddamn girl. Right. He's wearing a dress. I mean, he just looks like a little girl. And I said, God damn. It's a goddamn shame that America has made us to think it's okay to sin. That's the type of influence that America has on us. And so the Lord is telling us, this is a prophecy through Micah from the Lord. He said, woe to them that devise iniquity. The people that have put us in a position to think that that's okay are going to be destroyed. That's what woe means. W-O-E. The Lord is saying they're going to be destroyed because they devise iniquity. Keep going.
Come and work evil upon their beds.
Go ahead.
When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand.
These people that are in authority over Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, these people that are in authority over the Israelites, they can't go to sleep thinking about righteousness. They go to sleep thinking about iniquity. They wake up thinking about iniquity. They live their entire lives based around how to destroy Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. If you think if you think that's a stretch, try me, because I can show you that the scriptures say this. This is out of the Bible. You understand? This is out of the Bible, that they have a perpetual hatred. The people that are in control of our people today have a perpetual hatred against us. So they can't go to sleep in righteousness. They have to go to sleep in iniquity and plot out ways. You know how evil? We were just talking about this today. These cats are they take their time and they will devise such a cunning plan to where you think this is what life is supposed to be. You think that you're supposed to live life like this. Like they have made it so normal, you know. White people, listen, here, I'm gonna show y'all something. Just because I brought up the Dwayne Wade thing, I do want to talk about this for 2 seconds. In the 70s, the DSM-5 said that homosexuality, LGBTQ, all of that was a mental illness.
Right.
That's white people that said that. I want y'all to know that. White people, white doctors and researchers, and all of those people and psychiatrists and psychologists, they all came up with the fact that, okay, we're going to put into this handbook for psychologists to know that if a man or a woman is a homosexual, right, it's because they have a mental problem and there's something wrong with them. But you know what ended up happening? AIDS started to spread through black communities, damn near, I don't say more per capita than white neighborhoods. Right. And they started to realize, damn, we can weaponize this against these people. Because we all know that it takes a man and a woman to create a child. But now, if you stop that man and woman from having sex with each other and you start to push homosexuality, the women are going to have so-called sex with women. The men are going to have so-called sex with men. No babies are being born. What does that remind you of? I'll explain. When you go back to the story of Egypt, what happened? To kill off the nation of Israel, they made a decree to kill every son, every child that was a boy, kill them off and leave the women so that that way they could become, their children will become Egyptian from dealing with the Egyptians. They have, listen, this spirit in our oppressor has been continual since the beginning of time. It comes all the way back from Cain. They want to cut us off forever. And what America has been doing for the past 20 years has been making it to where homosexuality isn't such a big problem anymore. Homosexuality is a lifestyle choice now. They go to bed and sleep and dream about how to make us not a nation. Right. That's what we pray every Sabbath service is what they do. In Psalms the 83rd chapter, it says that they continually come together with crafty counsel to make sure that Israel is not a nation. They want to destroy us. This is not some sort of, listen, 9/11 is what y'all call a conspiracy theory. I think the real conspiracy theory is the fact that America wants to get rid of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's right. That's what they want to do. And they're doing a damn good job at it because now you got Dwayne Wade making everybody think, damn, he's a successful basketball player. His wife is a successful movie actor. You know, all of those things. And they successful and they're allowing their son to express himself. He wants to be a girl. That's what in the stupid, simple mind that we have, we'll think that. And that's because America has trained us to think that way. Because who is our leaders today? Celebrities. You understand? So my point is it takes a sick individual, somebody that really just doesn't understand, doesn't understand compassion, doesn't understand morality. All they know how to do is evil and wickedness, and that's all they want to do. Right? It says they work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it. When they wake up in the morning, they practice iniquity. And it says because it is in the power of their hand. It's in their power to do whatever the hell they want. Don't we know that in Job 9:24 it says what? The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So these people are given the power to do whatever they want. And because they're given that power, they're using it to usurp authority over us and make us sin against our God, and for them to commit iniquity against us, what you see with your George Floyds and your Botham Johns and all of the men and women, your Sandra Bland's, all of the men and women, Black, Hispanic, and Native American men and women that have been murdered and never received any justice because it's in their power to do so. If you could you go to the next verse?
Verse 2. The book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 2. And they covet fields and take them by violence.
And they do what they want. Hold on a second. Now, it's almost funny and comical to me to read this and not understand who the hell this is talking about. Right. They covet fields, meaning they desire land that doesn't belong to them. That's what coveting is. Coveting is a strong desire for something that doesn't belong to you. You want to take it from them. So they covet fields. And then it says what? It says, take them by violence. Now, let's ask the entire earth what happened to the Native American Indians. And I can guarantee you, everybody knows that story. The white man came over here, them goddamn conquistadors came over here and murdered the Native Americans for this land. Didn't win it in a war. They didn't win against, listen, that whole thing with the Mexican, with the so-called Mexicans, right? The tribe of Issachar. that whole fight between his land, that had nothing to do with, oh, we won it fair and square. No, you took it by force because that's the type of evil beast that you are. That's the type of evil beast that our oppressor is, because they covet other people's lands for themselves and they take it by violence. The Lord said, woe unto them, man. They're going to be destroyed for that. They don't deserve this. You understand? Let's keep reading. Sure.
So, and take them away.
Mm-hmm. And they take them away, which is, it's like if you can read and houses concept.
And houses,
mm-hmm.
and take them away.
And take them away. So now, not only are you going to steal this people's land, you're going to take them and make them captives to yourself. So now you come and take the land of a people, and you tell them, okay, I'm going to send certain people over to this reservation and to this reservation. I'm going to dictate where you live on your own land, and I'm going to take you and I'm going to take your wife, I'm going to take your children, and I'm going to make them work for me. You guys go ahead and do whatever you want. If not, maybe I'll just kill you instead. But either way, I'm taking some of y'all captive to help build America, which is what happened. You understand? Which is what exactly happened, right? Let's keep going.
Come. And houses, and take them away.
Mm-hmm.
So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage.
Right. You oppress a man and his house, even a man and his his heritage. Right? A heritage is somewhat like an inheritance. This land belongs to the North American Indians. This is something that was passed. This land was passed down generation through generation for over, by that time, over 1,300 years, damn near 1,500 years before before the Spanish conquistadors came over here and started to war against the Indians and killed them off. Now you've taken that child's inheritance. That child is supposed to be able to grow up, and now his father is going to be able to tell him, hey, this plot of land is yours, so that way you can start your family. You understand? And you have a place for your family to dwell. You have good crops and things like that. And all you got to do is just be a good son. I'm going to pass this down to you for an inheritance. And they rob them even of that. And they do it today, and they do it all the time because that's in their nature. Let's get, if I could, Revelation 18 chapter. This is the nature of the people that we're dealing with. So we have to understand that this isn't a place that we can feel relaxed at. This ain't a place where we can say, yeah, this is my rest. It's cool. Land of, that's that. I ain't gonna bring the dude's name up, man. But there's so many people who feel like America is the land of opportunity for everybody. And we could just thrive here. We could be a billionaire, like Jay-Z. Like Jay-Z and Kanye West and Rihanna are like the only black billionaires out of hundreds of millions of people. You understand? Like, that's just so easy to attain for everybody that's been stomped on for the past 400 years. No, this is not your rest. Understand how America was founded. This place was founded. That's what Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter said. What is it? Habakkuk 2 and 14? Is that the right? 2 and 12. Right? Habakkuk 2 and 12 says, woe be unto them that findeth a city in iniquity, or establish a city in iniquity. That's what America did. America established this entire country on iniquity, hate, murder, the robbing, the pillaging of the North American Indians and the so-called Mexicans. You understand? So now you can't ever think that if you are a North American Indian or a Mexican or a so-called Negro or black person in America, you can't think that this place has been established so you could do well, because you and your family have been murdered in this place. Right. You and your family have been slaves in this place, buck broken in this place, raped in this place. Do you think that this is a land of opportunity for black people? No. This is what this place is. It's the land of iniquity that was created for white people to become rich and rule over blacks, Hispanics, and niggas. All right, so let's get Revelation, the 18th chapter and the 4th verse.
Come, the book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people.
He said what?
Come out of her, my people.
This is a voice from heaven. This is an angel speaking to John the Revelator, giving him a vision and understanding of what's to come. This is of prophetic nature. The angel is telling John that this prophecy is saying, come out of her, my people. What did we just read in Micah, the 2nd chapter, the 10th verse? Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. We are to come out of this place. Now, does that mean that you have to flee to Egypt like them nuts over at GOCC did? No, that's not what this is talking about. This is not talking about you fleeing and going to Ghana where all these black people want to go to Ghana and somehow build a better life, and you're just going to be treated negatively just like you treated here because Africans don't love you either. It's not what this is talking about. This is talking about the fact that you have to spiritually separate yourself from the ideals and the morality that America holds fast to themselves. You can't think that it's okay to be a homosexual. You're not allowed to. You understand? The book of Leviticus gives you guidelines on the fact that you are not allowed to be a homosexual, whether you're a man or a woman. You cannot lay with the same sex. But you can't allow America to tell you, well, no, it's okay. It's a lifestyle choice. You're not allowed to do that. America loves bacon. Now, beef bacon, turkey bacon, that's fine, and I love it. But that pork bacon that's pushed here, they push it on you to make it seem like that's a good thing. They made chitlins like that was a black, like special occasion type of treat. No, it's an abomination unto God. Leviticus the 11th chapter tells you how to eat. But you allow America to push you into their iniquity, which we're going to read that next, right? Come out of her, my people. Go ahead.
That ye be not partakers of her sins.
Because the Lord has told us, he has commanded us in Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter, to be holy, to be separate from all the other nations. So when the other nations eat pork, cool, that's on them. They wasn't given the law. Psalm 147 tell you that. They was not given the law, so they don't have to not eat pork. They can eat whatever the hell they want. They can eat the bat, the rat, all of that. But they're not allowed, but we're not allowed to eat whatever we want. We're not allowed to eat pork. We're not allowed to eat that crawfish, but that's, what is that called? The seafood boil with the crawfish and the shrimp and the lobster and all of these things. We're not allowed to eat that, but that's black culture. Chitlins, black culture. Bacon, black culture. You got to wake up in the morning, you got to have that pork bacon. You understand? That has become black culture. Why? Because America has made it seem like this is okay and normal. Just like they've now ushered in the same-sex marriage and the same-sex, admiration, being a man, being a woman, all of these things. Like America has ushered these things in so smoothly and so slowly to where we just accept it. And don't get me started on the entertainment industry, the fact that you feel like it's okay to be a city girl, to be a goddamn thought,
right, to
run around here with your tail out, naked, not half naked. You got a piece of string on, and you got some lace, that old lace design garbage, the fishnet stuff. You got that. You run around here naked. You understand? That's normal, though. You would get stoned in Israel. You understand? You would get put to death for showing your nakedness. But because America has made that seem so normal, they make the guns normal, the drugs normal, all of these things, the gang banging, that has become normal for us. Now we're seeing the product of what America has created, which is nothing but death and hell. And we live in it and think it's normal because we think that this place is our rest. Like we think we should be comfortable. This is black culture, gang banging, sagging your pants. That's black culture. Eating pork chops and chitlins, that's black culture. No, it's not. That was given to you in slavery. That is not black culture. Right. That is the culture of the devil that the Bible speaks of, and they enforce that thing on you because they eat every abominable thing. But you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to eat. You're supposed to be separate and holy. But you eat whatever they tell you to eat because that's your slave master, because you feel comfortable in America. If you could, Baba Kushar, can you read that from the top, from Come Out of Her?
Come. The book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plague.
And that ye what?
Receive not of her plagues.
And that ye receive not of her plagues. Understand something, and I want everybody to really drill this in your head. The Lord has put his priests and prophets in 2023. He's been doing it since 1969, and here we are in 2023. He's put his priests and prophets in place to where now we're going to come out and we're going to cry aloud, like Isaiah the 58th chapter says. We're going to tell you what you're sinning, or excuse me, what your sin is. We're going to tell you you shouldn't be eating this. We're going to tell you you shouldn't be celebrating this. We're going to tell you that you shouldn't be with a goddamn white woman. You should seek one out of your own nation. We're going to tell you how to live your life based off of the principles and the morals of the Bible. That's what we're going to do. And we do that. We go out to camp every weekend. We have classes 5 days out of the week. Some camps, we got some of the schools, we got camps 7 days out of the week. And we do this because it's our job to wake you up. So there is no goddamn excuse for why you have fallen into the iniquity of America and not come into repentance. So because that's the case, you're gonna walk past us while we on the street. You think we just screaming and hollering, but you're not listening to the angels that are around us that put you in front of that camp, and you ignored them and you ignored us.
Right.
And so now we're telling you the demon that you're fighting. We're telling you you're not supposed to smoke cigarettes as you walk past us with a cigarette. We're telling you how to eat as you walk past us with a goddamn pork chop in your hand. We're telling you how to escape the punishment. That's what we're trying to do, because we don't listen. We're good in here. We're damn near sealed. You understand? We not doing this for us. We're doing this for y'all.
Right.
And we're trying to make sure that y'all can get the message that the Lord is trying to give to you. But the problem is you don't listen. And we're going to read that next. We're going to read that next. You're deaf. You won't listen. You're blind. You won't see. You understand? And because of that, because you refuse to listen to the prophets of the Lord, you know what's going to happen? You're going to receive of the same plagues of America. America deserves all of the destruction that's coming. The scriptures say that America will be turned into a lake of fire. You're going to look down from the chariots and you're going to see a lake of fire. It's going to be nothing but fire. This place is going to be swallowed up in the embers. You're going to have to be a part of that if you choose to be with America. You need to choose to be on the winning team, man. That's what you need to do. You cannot look at this place like this is a place where you can rest and be comfortable. Be uncomfortable. ISUPK is 100% uncomfortable in America. We hate it here.
That's right.
And we're desiring and seeking for our own kingdom, which Christ is going to establish. You understand? And so now, just so y'all understand something about this scripture is heavy, because if you are committing the sin that America, don't ever, okay, your father ever told you, don't do this, and then you go do it, and then he like, why did you do that? And it's, oh, well, they was doing it. No. I already told you what to do. Can't nobody force you to do what I've told you not to do.
Right.
That's not allowed. So that's the way the Most High works. The Most High is going to say, listen, I don't give a damn if you feel like America coerced you into doing whatever America taught you. You were supposed to reject their teaching and receive the teaching of the men in the ISUPK, because we're the authority on this earth, not America. You understand? So, but with that being said, let's read, because I got a lot of precepts to get to. So let's read the next one. Sluggy, if you could just keep reading from where you at.
Come. The book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 5. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities.
Right. The sins that America has, this Babylon, remember, now, I want y'all to understand something about these scriptures as well. Because if you read the context of this verse, I'm just giving you the context of this chapter. It's talking about Babylon. It's talking about us come out of Babylon. Babylon is a captivity that we were in damn near 1,000 years before this was written.
Right.
So this is talking about a future prophetic prophecy as far as us coming out of another Babylon. That's what America is. America functions like Babylon in Egypt. You understand? They function the same. They had the same thing where in Babylon and in Egypt, both times, you were allowed to feel like you were, you could be somebody. You were allowed to, what we would call thrive, but in the sense of, that's a slave thriving. But that's us here in America today. When you think we thrive, and it's really like, oh no, this is a good slave, the house nigga. You get to go inside the house, you get to cook the food and all of these things. That's what, you know what I mean? So now, but just remember this, right? The scripture just said, for her sins have reached unto heaven. The sins that America has committed have been great and far beyond anything that you could imagine. So I can get that up there. Be good. All right. Let's get Isaiah the 42nd chapter, the 18th verse. So we're going to read what I was just talking about, right? Which is you walking past the camp, you listen, you might tap into a class for like 20 seconds, like that. You niggas is weird. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't want to hear that. The Lord put that in your face for a reason. You walk past that campsite for a reason. There was a reason why you heard the truth. The problem is you rejected it. And the reason why is because I think I just taught a class on this. The Lord will make your mind reprobate. Like, let's just read it. Isaiah 42 and 18.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 42, verse 18. Hear ye deaf.
So the Lord said, even if you're deaf, he said, hear this. Go ahead.
ye deaf, and look ye blind.
And look ye blind, go ahead.
That ye may see.
So he's saying even if you blind, just look and you'll see, right? Keep going.
Verse 19. Who is blind but my servant?
He said, who is what?
Blind but my servant.
Right, my servant. This is so he's talking about Israel. He's talking about Israel. And we're blind. You understand? We can't see what's right in front of our face. You can't see that our oppressor is the devil. They have killed so many of our brothers and sisters that it's innumerable. But you can't see that. You can't see Amber Geiger as the devil the Bible speaks of. You can't see that. You can't see a woman, a white woman walking into a black man's house, murdering him, and you can't understand and fathom that she's the devil. You know what you think? She's a goddamn angel because you're going to run up to her and give her a hug and brush her hair in court after murdering your goddamn brother. Because you think that these people, you're blind, you're stupid and dumb. Because if it had been, I ain't going to get into the whole Botham John thing. That's a whole, damn demon come out on me. I just start talking about Botham John for the whole. Anyway, point being is that we are the blind. We can't see what's right in front of us. Keep going.
Verse 19. Who is blind but my servant, or deaf as my messenger that I sent? Who is blind as he that is perfect, and blind as Yahweh's servant? Seeing many things.
So we see many things. We listen, all of us, for the most part, unless you're watching from some other country, we've grown up in America. And we've seen the atrocities that America has committed against the children of Israel, against everybody. It ain't just talking about, listen, we've seen the atrocity. When Pearl Harbor happened, it was like, okay, the Japanese came and dropped a couple, they jammed a couple ships up, things like that. Man, America said, okay, we taking it to 1,000. And we're going to bomb Hiroshima and Nagasaki to piss. Like that's something even the Lord might look at and say, damn, why y'all are cruel? Because the Lord has had us come into some lands and slaughter everything. But that right there was crazy. You understand? And what they have done to so many different groups of people, even the damn Arabs who, we don't give a damn about them no way. But after that Twin Tower thing, George Bush was filled with such a zeal that he sent troops over there. They was killing everything. You understand? These people are cruel. We can't see that America is as cruel as we forget about slavery. We stop talking about it. Listen, it be our own people. It be blacks and Hispanics that tell us, hey, stop talking about slavery, man. It's over with. Like, you're so stupid and dumb that you can't see what's right in front of you. Keep going.
Verse 20, seeing many things, but thou observest not.
So you see all of these things happening around you. You see George Floyd get murdered. You see Botham John get murdered. You see Tamir Rice. That's older, but you hear about the story of Tamir Rice. You understand? You hear about all Trayvon Martin. You hear about all of these brothers getting murdered. You hear about Sandra Bland getting murdered, and you see those things, and you get mad for a little bit, but you don't have the correct type of anger against what happened to them, because you're going to go out and you're going to march like white people have taught you. White people taught Dr. Martin Luther King how to march, and marching didn't get him anywhere. Just like here we are today, when they see you marching, they look at you like a goddamn fool, because you can see what happened to Martin Luther King when he marched for the injustice. But then you didn't observe what happened. You didn't observe that, hey, that shit, excuse my language, that did not work. And then they murdered the man. So here you are, because you can't observe what happened. You're going to see what he did, and you're going to be like, yeah, let's try that again. That's stupid. That's dumb. You're going to do that, and you're going to get over it, and you're going to stop until another brother gets killed. And then you're going to get mad again. You might go march for him, and that's what's going to happen. Why? Because you see what happened, but you don't observe. You can't see what's right in front of your face. Keep going.
But thou observest not, opening the ears, but he heareth not.
Right. You can hear the recording of the Trayvon Martin murder. When George Zimmerman murdered Trayvon Martin, you can hear that little boy crying and screaming for his life. You get mad at it for a day or two, and then you go right back to the normal program. Because even though you heard what happened to that young man, it didn't strike a nerve in you the way it should have. It should have made you say, you know what, our oppressor is the goddamn devil the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
And I will never trust another oppressor with anything in my life. And matter of fact, these brothers over here wearing that black and them studs, I'm gonna go join them because they on what I'm on. And you're gonna get with like-minded brothers because that should have made the zeal come out in you to hate your oppressor and love God, love the Most High, and come and serve Him. Problem is, you got ears, but you just can't hear. You're not listening to what's happening, right? Let's get Lamentations, the first chapter. Lamentations, the first chapter. Break this thing on down, man. Once again, you're so comfortable with America, you think that this place is your rest. Like this is okay. Like this is the best because they have filled your brain with the nonsense that America is the best place to live. This is just the best place to live. You should love it here. You should be. You know what? I remember. I ain't gonna bring up the story. I'll tell y'all another time, man. But I was in 4th grade one time, and I said something to my teacher, and about America being terrible, and she was not having it. But I'll tell y'all that another time. Point being, though, right, is that you're so comfortable being in this place that you are willing to overlook the terrible things that happen to your brothers and sisters and not do anything about it, not speak out against it, just sit and be comfortable. This is not a place for you to be comfortable. You should be absolutely uncomfortable like us in the ISUPK. You should be willing to fight against this place. You should feel like this place has got you pushed in a corner and that dog come out of you and you say, no, damn that. You understand? I'm fighting my way out of this corner. All right. Let's get Lamentations, the first chapter and the first verse.
Like, if I may,
Come on, sir, of course.
Just going back to what you were saying, like you would think seeing Trayvon Martin and all these situations would make brothers and sisters wake up to want to do something. Right. Like if you pay attention to your oppressor, he is saying that's his intentions and a lot of these things. Like the shooting in Buffalo.
God.
You read their manifestos,
right.
And you read about them. Their ideology is they don't want to go after a strong group like the ISUPK.
Right.
They want to go after the weak, elderly black people. They want to go after the children because they're trying to inspire us to go into a race war with them.
Right.
But we have been so destroyed and we become so curved, like a dog that's curved, that we won't even fight back. And we're not saying that's the way to go. Right. You know, the weapons of warfare are not carnal, but these brothers and sisters are so destroyed, they don't even want to wake up and do anything to change their lives and their situations. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like that's the thing. We fighting back in the UPK. We not, we didn't do. See, the scriptures say to do this. The scriptures say, "Be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove." We don't go up. We don't take up arms. We're not at camp holding up AR-15s. Imagine if we was at camp and we got AR-15s just posted up around the camp. Like we would get murdered. Like the the Black Panthers. Mm-hmm. Like they would not have that because they weren't wise enough to handle the situation. Not to take away from any of the work them brothers did. Them brothers tried, but they just failed, man. And it's like you have to learn from situations like that and say, no, it ain't about, okay, I gotta go fight and do this, that, and that. Because that's what a lot of brothers be on. They be like, man, I'm just gonna start. Oh, that's not, it's not. The way is to come into this truth and fight, because this is a spiritual warfare that we fight. We're not fighting skin and flesh and blood. That's not what we're fighting. We're not fighting the color white. You understand? We are fighting a group of people, several groups of people that wish to do us harm for no goddamn reason at all. And so now we have to be wise when we come up against it, because now they have all the power, all of these things. So now, yeah, definitely that's a heavy point, sir. Like we definitely gotta get on that tip of just understanding that it's really not hard to just come serve the Lord, get right with God, and your God will destroy your enemies for you. It's like a crackhead being out on crack. You're like, damn, I gotta fight my way to, get some more crack and I hate this and this, that, and the third. But really all I gotta do is just come home to my Father's house, like he said, and he'll get me clean. But you don't want to do that. It's the easy way, but to you it's the hard way. You know what I mean? All right, so let's get Lamentations 1:1.
Come. The book of Lamentations, chapter 1, verse 1. How doth the city sit solitary?
This city that this is talking about Jerusalem. This is talking about our land. This is our land that we're talking about. And this city sits solitary by itself. Go ahead.
that was full of people.
It was full of people, but now this land, this is, and just so y'all know, this is the time of the Babylonian captivity, which is why I'm bringing this specific precept out now, because this is very, very, very similar to what we're going through today. The city that used to house the children of Israel now is empty. Right? Keep going.
God.
And it used to be full of people, right? Go ahead, Salaki.
No sweat. How is she become a widow as a widow?
Uh-huh.
She that was great among the nations
Mm-hmm.
and princes among the provinces. How is she become tributary?
Listen, a nation that was on top, 100% on top, it was the greatest nation. Nobody could F with us. And then now we got to pay taxes to another nation? What does that sound like today? Now, we're here in America. We used to be the greatest people. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans used to be the top of the top. Deuteronomy 7:6 says that we would be set upon high above all nations. The Lord loves us more than any other nations. He wants to bless us more than any other nation. But we've committed an iniquity against our Father that is now he's lowered us to under these base people that are nothing. And we know that the people that are over us in America, they're nothing. We're stronger than them. We're smarter than, we're better than them in all things. But the Lord has lowered us under that base people. So now this is a question that Jeremiah is asking here in the book of Lamentations. He said, how would she become tributary? They're supposed to be paying taxes to us, but now look at us. You got to pay taxes to them. You got to pay state tax, federal tax. You got to pay your social. Oh my God, that Social Security, they're about to get rid of it. We're paying Social Security right now for us not to be able to use it ever. We're paying money that we ain't never going to get back. They should be paying money to us. That's what they should be. But because we've become so low and so base, the Lord, because we don't keep his commandments and statutes and laws, he set us underneath these people. Right? So I'm kind of answering the question. This is really a rhetorical question that Jeremiah is asking, but I'm answering the question. This is how we've become so low and how we've become tributary. We got to pay taxes to these people. Keep going.
Verse 2. She weepeth sore in the night, and her tears are on her cheeks.
This is talking about our land, right? And really, when the scriptures talk about our land, it's talking about us. You understand? This is the lifestyle that we live here in America. We weep sore at night. You understand? The tears are on our cheeks, right? Keep going.
God, among all her lovers, she hath none to comfort her.
And nobody can comfort us. Nobody can come and pacify us to where we're actually comfortable. You understand? Martin Luther King tried it. He tried to make us, he tried to pacify us and make like we got a chance. We've just given up our hope now. We just feel like we got to assimilate damn near. It's like we just got to be a part of America. Old boy, I ain't gonna say dude name, man, but no, I'm gonna say his name. Wack 100 is like, I'm an American. I'm like, yeah, see, like that's a lot of people will say that. A lot of people say, like, damn, I'm an American. That's like crazy for us in the truth to think about. You fully assimilated into America to believe that you're one of them. You're not one of them, man. You're not one of these people. And they know it and you don't, because they have oppressed you into not understanding the condition that you and your people are in. Right? So nobody can come and take away the murders that are occurring against our people. Nobody can come and stop black on black crime. Nobody can come and take away all of the police officers that are murdering our men and our women. Nobody can come and stop the domestic abuse problem that we have. Nobody can do it. The scriptures say that. Even in Deuteronomy 28:68, no man shall buy you, meaning nobody's going to be able to redeem us out of this. Nobody can comfort us. The only thing that can happen is our oppressor can trick us into believing, hey, look, this is a good place. This is your rest. You can be here and be happy and be all you can be. Shoot for the stars. That's what they tell you. And they make you believe that you can. And they give you all manner of sin. They made weed legal so that way you could get high and come home off of the slavery and just forget about the fact that your boss just terrorized you all day. You can forget about that because you're going to get high. This is the things that they do to make you passive and docile so that way you can feel comfortable. But this is not your rest. Keep reading.
Among all her lovers, she hath none to comfort her. All her friends have dealt treacherously with her. They are become her enemies.
And Israel don't have no goddamn friends, man. Ain't nobody that we can team up with. even Japheth, you know, like Japheth ain't really, we ain't never been in oppression under Japheth. You're talking about the Polynesians and the Eskimos, they ain't never done nothing to us. But there's no way that we could ever pair up with them to get any comforts, any help. You understand? Because there is nobody. Israel is Israel alone. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American, we are all we have. That's it. We can't rely on nobody. And I wish Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans could just start to understand it. I wish that we could just actually, like, it could get zapped into our mind that, okay, it's just us. So now we got to deal with it with each other. We can't step outside and have sex with the other races and make them wealthy. We make each other wealthy. We're not going to, support Asian businesses and white business. No, we're just going to support each other. We're going to make sure that we are with each other and do for each other because we are all we got. And if we understood that we are all we got and didn't think that there was another option than dealing with that, what some of y'all women are called a bum black man or a dusty black man. Same thing for you brothers be talking down on these women. If you didn't have another option and you only had to deal with us, then we can maybe start to fix ourselves.
So, like, if I may, just what you bringing out is so heavy. Going to the point about among all her lovers, she hath none to comfort her. All her friends have dealt treacherously with her. They have become her enemies. Like, to me, I always think about like a music concert. Right. Because you hear this with music a lot. They say you go to this concert and it's all races there. And this music brings everyone together. You hear that all the time. Yeah. This artist brings everyone together, or this sports event brings everyone together. But then in the time of our calamity, all those nations are not really with you. We don't go home to the same neighborhoods. Right. We don't go home to the same bank accounts. We don't share. What do you mean we're coming together? Because we standing next to you? Right. Like, that's the whole idea of integration. You know what I mean? Like, since we can pee on the same toilet and use the same restroom, all of a sudden we're together. But when we go through things and we struggle and we're pain and suffering, these other nations are nowhere to be found. Matter of fact, they're the ones that are doing the oppression to us. Right. So you know what I mean? Like, and also just want to key in Salagi, just on the word her lovers, like the Lord likens the nation of Israel to a wife, and this is like a wife playing the whore. Right. And you finding all these men that tell you look good, they like your backside, you pretty this, you got pretty skin, but when everything hits the fan, these men don't give a damn about you and they leave you like the whore that you are. Right. And that's how we are. We get used up like a whore by all these nations, and then when we in strife, we look to them to help us, but they like just a rapper, nigga. I just like Drake's song. I don't love black people. Right. I'm a Moabite. Right. I got loyalty to my people. I'm from this nation and that nation. Like, it's like it.
No, you so wow. That's like a heavy point. Definitely, like that's and breaking that down. It really should. It should get brothers and sisters to understand the type of enemy that we're against. Like, we've dealt with when you made that practical example, most women have dealt with that practical example. Now all you got to do is take that practical example and then apply it to a bigger scale. Right. This is what America is doing to us. They're whoring us out. So if you could read verse 3, Bible.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 1 and verse 3. Judah is gone into captivity because of affliction and because of great servitude. She dwelleth among the heathen. She findeth no rest.
And this is what we're talking about tonight. This is exactly what we're talking about. We have gone into captivity because of what? Our affliction. Listen, our affliction and because of great servitude, and she dwelleth among the heathen. This is a perfect example of what Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, was talking about. We're going to go amongst these nations, and we're going to have to be under subjection to a nation that is not a nation. I don't want to say it like that because damn near somebody might try to break that down the wrong way. What I will say is that we are under subjection under a nation that is not the Lord's chosen people, that is beneath us. All right, we are under subjection. Like I said earlier, we are below these people that really the Lord said that we're supposed to be above. Right? Let me read that part again. Right, so it say Judah is gone into captivity because of affliction and because of great servitude. She dwelleth among the heathen, and it says she findeth no rest, because there is no rest that you can get amongst your enemies, amongst the other nations. The only thing, and this is why we say our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of, because here's what I will tell you. The Egyptian captivity, we knew we were captives. The Assyrian captivity, we knew we were captives. Under the Persians and the Medes, we knew we were captives. We knew something was wrong. We knew this was a terrible thing. Under the Babylonians, we knew that this was a captivity. We knew this. Understand this? When the Greeks occupied Jerusalem, we knew that that was absolutely wrong. It was a bad thing. We were being under subjection under another nation. Same thing for the Roman occupation, all of that. We all understood that these were bad things. We were being under subjection under another nation. The thing about America is that this is the only nation that stripped us of our identity. We've never been in any captivity where we didn't know who we are. Even when the Greeks had us under subjection, they told you that you could not call yourself a Jew, but we all still knew that we were Jews. We all still knew that we were Israelites. America they stripped you of your identity completely. You don't know who you are. You say you're black.
Right.
You say you're African American. You understand? You say that you're Afro American. You say you're a Moor. They give you everything but what the truth is, which is if you're Black, Hispanic, or Native American, you are an Israelite. You are God's chosen people, the God of the Bible. You are the God of the Bible's chosen people. But you don't know that here. Why? Because our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of, and they are extremely crafty.
That's right.
They were able to beat your identity out of you. They were able to do the thing that you know how hard it would be to beat the identity out of a Chinese person? To 4 generations down the line, this Chinese person doesn't know that they're Chinese. They don't know where they come from. That is extremely hard unless you are the devil that the Bible speaks of, and you have the mind of a goddamn serpent. You have the mind of Satan himself, and you can destroy people to where they don't even know who they are. This is the only captivity that's ever done this, and that's because our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. You understand? And this is why I'm saying the only reason why we feel like we can find rest in this place is because our oppressor has made it seem like, well, hey, you know, I gave you Planned Parenthood so that way you guys can live good lives. Right. You don't have to worry about keeping babies. This is for y'all. So y'all could listen, you don't want that. I understand. It's too expensive to have babies. Look how much diapers cost. Look at the Similac. I mean, it's just ridiculous for y'all to have to stop having. Listen, I'm going to put a Planned Parenthood in there, and I'm going to make sure that y'all understand if you just have all the sex you want to, you don't have to be responsible for it, and you can kill that child that comes out of your womb, and you'll be good. I'm going to give you welfare. I'm going to give you Black women welfare, but only if there's no man in your house. So that means you do got to get rid of your husband. So the first thing that woman's going to do is what? She going to get into a fight with her husband because he did this, that, or the third, and she going to be like, nigga, I don't need you. Uncle Sam got me. He going to go ahead and he going to shoot me the 500 a week. I'll be straight. I'll be all right. They're going, listen, man, they are so crafty. They make you feel like they're helping you, but they're killing you. It's like, so you got it.
Just to go off what you're saying, it's so heavy. Like, you know, we're talking about this a lot lately, but it does come back to it in a lot of ways, man. As far as the pimp and the whole relationship.
Yeah.
Like, what you're talking about us being in captivity, not knowing our identity.
Right.
And Black and Hispanics not even know they're enslaved.
Right.
Like, imagine the level that a pimp would have to be on in order to have whores that don't believe they're whores.
Right.
And don't believe they're working for him.
Right.
Like,
God, damn, that's heavy.
This nigga would have to set it up where I own Louis Vuitton purses.
Right.
And I own the red bottom shoes. Right. And now I convince you through this music video to be a whore. And you're going to give me all the money by buying this product that I'm selling you. So I really
Damn.
You think you're doing this on your own and you enjoying your life and you living
Right.
your best life, but really you're hoeing for me.
God damn.
You see what I'm
that's heavy.
saying? And that's what America does to us. You free because you can work at Popeyes or you can go to Wendy's
Right.
or you can go to Taco Bell. In your mind, you free. But what are the options? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to pay your bills one way or the other.
Right.
You're not going to spend that money on yourself. In
God.
slavery, they gave us food, clothing, and shelter.
And shelter, that's
When
that's
you work,
the point.
that's all you're getting is
Right.
food, clothing, and shelter. All the profit goes to the oppressor. So he's pimping you out.
right.
And you proud to do it. You proud to be an American.
Tough.
You shed tears at the baseball game. So I get
That
the
is
football game.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, that is tough. And that's like that one point that you made, all of that was heavy, Salaki. But one point that you made was it's like a slave, that's what he gets. He gets food, he gets water, he gets clothing, and he gets shelter. That's it. That's the same thing sharecropping was. They tried to make that different. They transfer from
It's prostitution too.
Con.
They get
Like
food,
they
clothing,
so
shelter.
right.
Everything else goes straight to
Right, everything, all the
Right.
profit go to you.
Yeah.
Like food and shelter is like a given damn near. That shouldn't be counted as profit for you.
Right.
So, okay, so now back in before they so-called ended slavery, they gave you the food, shelter, clothing, all of that, right?
Right.
But then they got all the profit. So
Right.
all of that cotton that you was picking, all of the tobacco you was picking, all of the sugar cane, and all of the things that you was doing,
Right.
excuse me, for them, they got the profit off of. It's free labor.
Right.
It ain't nothing to build a little goddamn hut in the back of the house. I done seen some of these plantation homes where they got just a damn hut in the back where all the slaves was at. So then it went from that to sharecropping after slavery was so-called outlawed.
Right.
So now you have sharecropping, which is basically, hey, you can come work for me. I'm not going to give you money, but I'm going to give you a house to live in, a little, room or whatever to live in. And I'll give you food. I'll give you, whatever clothes you need, water.
Right.
And that's it. But you don't get none of the profits. That was sharecropping. That was legal. And it was after slavery so-called ended. And then now here we are today. Same thing. You can go work for Chase and become the CEO. No, you can't become the CEO, but you can become, I know a dude that's like the president of his branch or something like that. It's a brother.
Right.
But guess what? He's not getting the profit off of it. He's not making nearly as much money as they're making off of him. He just has a little bit better of a house, a little bit better of a car, maybe some nicer clothes.
Right.
But he's still being holed out. I don't want to talk about the brother like that, but like
No, you got to.
But he's being
Okay,
but,
your brother, your partner.
yeah. But I would say the same thing. He's being holed out because it's like you're making them millions while you get $100,000 a year, $150,000 a year. You're making good money, yeah, but you're not making what they're making because they're making you feel like you're not a slave, but you're gonna keep working for them, making all that money. That was heavy what you said, sir. Like,
No, that's what most of the Christ.
damn right. All right, let's get verse 9 in that. So
Okay.
Lamentation 1 and 9.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 1, verse 9. Her filthiness is in her skirts.
Her filthiness is in her skirts. Go ahead.
She remembereth not her last end.
So this is still talking about the people that oppress us. This is talking about. Most High said her filthiness is in her skirts, meaning her filthiness is being uncovered. And that's what we're doing here today. We're uncovering the wickedness that the white man. Nope, listen, we're not supposed to know this. It took a priest and prophet, one of them by the name of head priest Ariah, may the brother rise again in power, that was able to uncover this thing to us and make us understand that, damn, you're right. We are slaves in this place. You understand? These people are treating us terrible. This is not our rest. We shouldn't be comfortable here. We should be fighting back in the spirit. It takes a true priest and prophet to be able to bring something like that out. You understand? And that's what this is saying. It's saying that we have to, this thing is going to be uncovered. You understand? Because they thought to hide it in their skirt. We lifting that skirt up and showing all of the uncleanness and the filthiness and the nastiness that these people have done to us and what to do to fix it. Right? Keep going.
Her filthiness is in her skirts. She remembereth not her last end.
She remembereth not her last end. Understand something. Like when you go into the book of Obadiah, you read that Esau is going to be cut off forever. Like this, and we know that, and we go into the book of Zephaniah, when you go into the book of Revelation, you go all throughout this Bible, you find prophecies of America specifically being burned to the ground because this place deserves death. This place needs to be judged. Like you say, we serve some sort of angry God. No, this God is very necessarily angry because this place is very necessarily, it needs to be burned. It has a necessity to be burned. It's like a requirement. This place needs to be destroyed. But they do this thing to us, not realizing what they're going to get in return. They're not realizing that, okay, it's Ezekiel 35:5, right? It says, or in verse 6, Salaki, it says, because you've had a perpetual hatred for your brother Jacob, shame shall cover you. And since you never hated blood, you didn't hate blood when you murdered George Floyd. You didn't hate blood when you murdered Sandra Bland. You understand? When you murdered Botham Jean, murdered Tamir Rice, murdered all of these men and women and children, you didn't hate it then. So therefore, blood is going to pursue you now. Now you're going to get a taste of your own medicine. You understand? But you're not thinking about that when you putting your foot on our necks. You're not thinking about that when you throwing little babies and using them as alligator bait. You're not thinking about that. You're not thinking about the punishment that's coming. You just hate us. Keep going, Babakasha.
No sweat. She remembereth not her last end. Therefore she came down wonderfully. She had no comforter. O Yahweh, behold my affliction, for the enemy hath magnified himself.
And the enemy have magnified himself, meaning just like when you go back into the book of Obadiah, it says the pride in your heart has deceived you. You have risen yourself up. That's like me leaving the school and saying, yeah, I'm a 20-year-old general.
Right.
I've magnified myself, but I haven't deserved that position. I have not obtained the position of a general.
Right.
I haven't obtained the position of above Commander General Yohana. But if I go out here and I tell everybody, yeah, I'm a 20-shield general, you know what's going to happen? I'm gonna get put in my place eventually. Right. Somebody's gonna come and put you in your place, and they're gonna tell you, you're not a 20-shield general. You don't know nothing about this thing, and they're gonna humble you. Well, that's what's gonna happen to our oppressor. Our oppressor is gonna become humbled because they think that they're above blacks and Hispanics. Like they think they're better than us. They call the Native Americans savages. I've never seen a greater savage than the white man. I've never seen a greater savage than the white man. But they came over here and called the so-called Native Americans, the tribe of Gad, savages. God damn that. They the real savages. And the problem is that's because they exalted themselves on high. They looked at the Native Americans like a base people, like they were nobody. The problem is you white people are base people. You are down here and we are all the way up here because you are nothing. Even the Lord says it. The Lord says the heathen are nothing. All the other nations are nothing compared to the children of Israel. We're the apple of his eye. You understand? And you that annoying fly that's flying around the house, the Most High Yahweh is going around and chasing, about to smack you up against the goddamn wall with that fly swatter. That's what you are to him. You understand? So now let's keep going. Let's get into Revelation, the 14th chapter. I'm gonna probably wrap it up and probably we might be able to get through all of this. I don't know. Let's see. Let's get. Let's see. Okay, let's get Revelation, the 14th chapter, the 9th verse. We'll start at. Yeah, you're a nuisance to the Most High. You're a pestilence to the Most High. I don't know if y'all ever had like a fly in your house or something like that, and it's just buzzing in your ear, swipe it away, thing's gonna keep coming back. It's just a nuisance. It's annoying. When eventually you roll up that newspaper and say, "I'm out." My pops, I get this story. My pops, he hates flies, right? I remember one time my pops was in the crib, he chilling or whatever, and then the fly keeps buzzing in his ear. My pops just, I mean, when I say he hates flies, he really hates flies. He gets upset. My pops rolled that newspaper up. He went to go chase that thing down. That fly landed on the window, and my pops knew he was going to break the window. He didn't care. He just swatted the hell out of that fly, killed the fly, broke the window, but he was more happy about the fly being dead. That's right. That's how the Lord looks. The Lord would destroy this entire earth to kill Esau. The Lord will get rid of all of this and build another one. Like the Lord hates Esau so much because of what they've done to his children. He don't give a damn about none of this stuff. That's why he's going to destroy the earth that he made, literally in the lake of fire. He's going to destroy America. That's the land that the Lord made. But he's willing to get rid of that. That's that window that you're going to break to swat that annoying nuisance of a fly. All right. So now let's get Revelation 14 and let's get verse 9. This is what's like? You got it.
That's what the book of Revelation, chapter 14 and verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand.
So now this is talking about the mark of the beast. No, this is not a microchip. No, this is not a vaccine. This is nothing physical. This is spiritual. Understand? This is talking about you accepting. If you accept the mark of the beast, this is talking about you accepting the ideology of Christianity, the ideology and morals of America. This is talking about you living contrary to the Most High and living according to America and Christianity. And so now the scripture, this is prophetic. It's saying if you worship the beast and his image, which is the beast and his image is Christianity and the image that Christianity pushes, which is that white Jesus and the morals that come with white Jesus. You know, the morals that come with white Jesus is you don't have to keep the law. You could be a homosexual. God loves you no matter what. This is not what this is not what the true image is. It's not the true understanding of the Bible, but Christianity. That's what the beast is and the image. Christianity and white Jesus. If you go and worship that and serve that God, keep going, verse 10.
Verse 10, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High.
So now if you decide that you're going to follow white America, black Christianity, which is really white Christianity, it's slave Christianity. If you decide that you're going to follow that instead of following the Most High, you're going to drink of the wine of the wrath of God, meaning God is going to put you to death, man. You're going to be put to death for following America because America is going to teach you all of the whoredoms that its practice is going to push it on you. Keep going.
Which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb.
So all of the angels and Christ are going to watch America burn. That fire and brimstone is touching on the lake of fire, which is America on fire. Christ is going to crack that sky with a legion of angels and chariots, and they're going to rain hell on America. And this place is going to burn. It's going to look like a lake of fire. And in the presence of the angels and Christ, they're going to behold all of you that decided to hold fast to America and hold fast to black slave Christianity and white Christianity. You're going to be burned and consumed up here with the rest of everybody else that did the same thing, with the people that gave it to you and with the people that took what the white man is giving them. You're going to be burning in this place, and the Lord is going to allow Christ and the angels to just watch as this place is consumed. Keep going.
Okay. Verse 11, and the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest, day nor night, who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name.
So now, if you think that you have rest in America, once again, today's class is titled, This is not your rest. America is not your rest. But if you decide that America is your rest, and this is the place to be and the best place on the earth, and you get to do whatever you want, and just love America and its moral code and all of these things, just understand that there's going to come a day when you will have no rest, day nor night. There's going to be a day when this place comes to an end, and you will never have rest again. So I would not, this is what my counsel would be to anybody in the world that decides that they would rather serve America than serve the Most High. I would say that you should decide to not serve America. You should decide to be uncomfortable. Don't be comfortable. Don't be in rest mode in America. Decide that this is a place to be uncomfortable. I'm going to go out on the streets and I'm going to yell and I'm going to teach. I'm going to come sit in these classes and I'm going to get taught. I'm going to serve the Most High. I'm going to pay my tithes. I'm going to stop eating this way. I'm going to come to the feast days. I'm going to do all of the things that the Lord required me, even though it may be uncomfortable, because when you're coming out of this world, it is uncomfortable. You got to change the way you eat. You got to come to class. You got to come to camp. You don't get your Saturdays off no more. You're going to do the work of the Lord. It's not comfortable.
Real quick, if I make the rest mode button is what? Weed.
Right. Yeah.
Drugs.
Right.
You put you on rest mode.
Right.
You can't. You're gonna have to stop getting high.
Have to stop getting high
to get out of this rest, because that's what they got you on. You just coasting in life high.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if you stop getting high, you're gonna be uncomfortable. You're gonna be depressed. You're gonna be angry. You're not gonna be having a good time in this place. You know what I'm saying?
Ecclesiastes 7:7 says, oppression maketh a wise man mad. The problem is you too goddamn high to realize you oppressed.
Right.
And being high and all of those things, it just keeps you real calm and just you're real coy, and you just kind of you just let damn that get upset.
That's right.
You understand? When you listen, if your boss is a white man and he does something to upset you, you should say in your mind, not well, I'll just go home and smoke a blunt. Nah, you should say in your mind, this is why the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks. I see it. I see it in his eyes. I see it in his tone, his mannerism. I see that the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And when I go to camp, I'm going to blaze. I'm going to prophesy, and everybody's going to hear the wrath. That could be, listen, I ain't trying to tell nobody that you should look at anything as an exchange, but instead of smoking a blunt, just come to camp. Understand? Become a trooper, and then you can read. You understand? And that, listen, you can blaze reading. It's like it. That brother come out of mouth. He go in there when he reading them scriptures. That's like a spirit coming out of that brother. You're damn right. That brother know how to read them scriptures and exert. You understand? But then you become an officer, and you'll be able to teach against these devils. And that's what this is what the Lord told us to do. Not go home and get high. You understand? He said oppression maketh a wise man mad. So we're supposed to be angry at this oppression. We're not supposed to be happy and docile. We're supposed to be upset. And we'll spend an entire week crafting the perfect camp to where we're just going to might not even remember half of the things we wrote down, because you just sometimes that spirit of the Lord come on you. But point being is there's an alternate way to dealing with the oppression. You don't have to do what the white man told you to do. He made weed legal, not for white people. Do you know that when weed first came out as like being a popular drug, they came out with commercials talking about black people smoking weed and how they were savages for it, and telling white women to stay away from weed.
Right.
It's weed being legal. It's not about white people. It's about black people continually being in this state of just depression and sorrow. And then, then you get to smoke that blunt. It's like an out. You could have just, you know what I mean? So my point is, these people are not giving you true rest. They're giving you a false sense of rest. What I'm saying is, don't choose that false sense of rest. Don't let them, listen, don't be a hoe. America is like a pimp that just real slick with their mouthpiece. Right. They know exactly what to say to you because you're a dumb hoe. And they're going to make you feel like you're a smart hoe, but you're really stupid. And you're hoeing for the wrong nigga. You understand? The Lord wants you to not be a whore anymore. The Lord wants you to be a righteous daughter, a righteous son of the Most High. That's what the Lord requires of you. Damn right. And he wants you to be wise. He wants you to be wise. The scriptures say, listen, Christ said to himself, he said, be ye therefore perfect as the Most High in heaven is perfect. The Lord doesn't want you to be some sucker. You think the Lord would be a sucker like you are? You was talking about the woman with the Fendi bag, she thinks she really doing it up. Right. That's you with that promotion at your job. Like, damn, maybe the white man isn't the devil. Right. I mean, they just gave me a $10 raise. God damn. Right. No, the white man is still a devil, and he's trying to show you that he's not a devil. He wants to trick you into thinking he's not a devil. He's just doing this because he likes me. No, you got it. You got it.
Even and it kind of tying into, we have to say, but they do too with the football players. They give them that big money. They know they get the check. They're like, hey, I got this house over here for sale. Right. So they gave you the more money, but did you know I got these new bins off the lot? Right. I got it for sale for you right now. That's what they say. They all come around. They tell their friends, this is what this dude has right now. Right. And they come like vultures and take that away. So like, even, I got a place to rent. Right. I know how much you make. They're trying to bring that money back. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Right. You know what I mean? It's like it.
No, damn right. Like, and that's the whole, that's the game that they play on us, and you just a sucker. And you do. And listen, I'm not saying it's like I'm better than anybody. I was a sucker once. You understand? I was the one. I ain't gonna say I was getting hold out. I wasn't getting hold out.
Right,
No,
right.
but
Right.
listen, but I definitely was a sucker because I believed that these people did things out of sincerity because we do things out of sincerity.
Right.
Like, so blacks and Hispanics, we're not vile people like Esau, like our oppressor. So when they do something seemingly nice for us, we think it's out of sincerity, but that's only because we deal with each other. That's in our spirit to be sincere. It's in our spirit to be sincere. So when somebody else does it, you think they're sincere. When it really comes out that, like, nah, he had a whole, plot behind giving you that raise. What was it? You who was talking to? Yeah, it was you. They gave the dude the position. Is it a movie or something like that? They gave the dude the position because they wanted him to have the position, the CEO position, but by the time he became the CEO, found out they was doing some like extortion or something like that. Embezzling. They were involved in embezzlement, so they put dude in place, and he's now the one taking the blame. Like, but you think you getting this raise because they like me, they want to offer me this job. That's cool. No, it's not because they care about you. It's because you're going to be a better slave if you get $5 more an hour. You're going to be a better slave to them. You're going to be more beneficial to them. When you get the $5 more an hour, they're going to get, I don't know, $20,000 more an hour. Right. Because you're going to perform better. Right. That's the point. But that's why I'm saying you can't rest in this place and be like, oh, this is a good place to live. Ain't no better place in the entire earth for me to live. Don't think like that because this is probably the worst place to live. So like, right. So okay. Let's do this. Let's read. Damn. I don't want to. Okay, let's read this real quick. Ecclesiastes 4:1. I really wanted to. It's all good though.
Ecclesiastes.
Yeah, Ecclesiastes 4:1. We'll read that one real quick. I'll kind of damn near skim through it, but I do want to make sure I break it down for people.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4 and verse 1. So I returned and considered all the oppressions that are done under the sun.
Right. This is Solomon speaking this. He's the wisest man that ever lived. And he's saying, I returned and I considered all the oppressions that are done under the sun. Solomon is studying the oppressions that are done under the sun. Keep going.
And I considered all the oppressions that are under the sun, that are done under the sun. And behold, the tears of such as were oppressed. And they had no comforter.
And they what?
Had no comforter.
So these people that he's talking about that are being oppressed had no comforter, nobody to comfort them at the time of their oppression. Here's what the wisest man in the earth, besides Christ, was saying about these people that are being oppressed. They had no comforter. So now if you find comfort in this land, right, outside of Christ's rule, we're not, Christ ain't came back. We're not in the kingdom. We know that we being oppressed in this place. If you find comfort here, you're gonna have to second guess what is that? What is the spirit behind that comfort? Once again, most people find that comfort in that weed. And it seems like a blessing from God. There are Israelites that believe it, like I'm saying, people that say they're Israelites, that believe that they can smoke weed. Everybody else, of course, in the world, Christians, Muslims, everybody believes that weed is lawful to smoke. And they justify it by saying, well, weed makes me feel good. Right. I mean, but so does like having sex with every woman that you meet. That makes you feel good too. It makes you feel really good. You understand? Same thing for the women, having sex and being being a whore. You understand? Making money in illicit ways, selling drugs. All of that feels good. That doesn't make it right. So you have to question everything that gives you so-called comfort in America, because we read in Solomon say these people that were oppressed, they had no comforter. There's no, just once again, going back to Deuteronomy 28 and 68, scriptures say, no man shall buy us. No man is going to be able to redeem us. Nobody's going to be able to. Martin Luther King couldn't comfort you. And the problem is he made you feel comforted because you felt like, damn, we got a real leader. And if you didn't feel that way about Martin Luther King, you felt that way about Malcolm X. You was on one side of the spectrum or the other. And Malcolm X made you feel the comfort, like, damn, we're making a step forward. Guess what? He got murdered. You understand? Made a brother rise again, but just point out the proof is in the pudding, man. The brother got murdered, and then all of that comfort left because that comfort was a false sense of comfort. You understand? Nothing is able to truly comfort us in America because we are actually being oppressed. Even in the truth, this truth is comfort, but we remain uncomfortable, meaning this truth is better than everything the world has to offer, but we also understand that this truth is a sacrifice. Like we are making a sacrifice for Christ, and the true comfort doesn't come until Christ's kingdom comes. So we have comfort in knowing that Christ's kingdom is going to come, but besides that, none of this is comfortable. We come into class, we go into teaching, you understand? We work in the social media, things like that. We are fighting, we are warring. War is not comfortable. It's not comfortable. You understand? Understand is we're being oppressed right now, just like everybody else. They just find ways to, they'll get high and they'll mitigate their oppression that way, but that's not really mitigating our oppression. If you want to mitigate your oppression, you know what you have to do? You have to eliminate it. And if you're going to eliminate the oppression, you have to fight for the kingdom, and then you'll no longer be oppressed because that kingdom will come and Christ will come back and we will be under his subjugation. We'll be subjugated under Christ. And when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. And that's what we will be in the kingdom. All right. I said I was going to fly through this one. I don't know why I lied to myself. It's a lot. All right, let's keep going.
Okay. Come. And they had no comforter. And on the side of their oppressors, there was power.
And on the side of their oppressors, there was power, right? Keep going.
But they had no comforter.
Right. So our oppressors have power. They have of course, to be able to oppress somebody, you have to have power over them. And that's what our oppressors have. They have power. Again, Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So they have power to oppress us. But with us, we ain't got nobody to comfort us from our oppression. Give me verse 2, Bible Kashan.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, in verse 2. Wherefore I praise the dead, which are already dead, more than the living, which are yet alive.
Listen, Solomon, the wisest man in the earth, said, I praised the dead more than the living, because it's better to be dead than to be in this hell. Because hell is not a place that you go to when you die. Otherwise, Solomon wouldn't have said this. Solomon would not have said this if hell was a place that exists in the afterlife or something like that. No, hell is on earth. Death is peace. Death is eternal. Well, I don't say eternal, but death is sleep. Death is when you get a goddamn break, man. But 2 Ezra, the 7th chapter says life is war. That's what life is. With every minute that you're awake in this goddamn hell, you're going to be battling. You're going to be at war. That's what this is. And Solomon said, I praise the dead more than the living, because being dead is peace. So don't ever think that America is your, if you could give me Deuteronomy 28, Baba Kushab, it's the last one. Don't ever think that America is your rest. This is not your rest. Solomon said it's better to be dead than to be in America. That's what he said. Don't fight me, fight Solomon. Solomon said it's better to be dead. Baba Kushab, if you could give me Deuteronomy 28. Damn. All right. And 60, let me see. Yeah, we'll run through that. Deuteronomy 28 and 64.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 64. And Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other.
Now, this is a punishment. If you read Deuteronomy 28 and 15, if you just skip up to the verse 15, you'll find that this is a punishment for not keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments. Notice that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are not keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments that are prescribed in this Bible. So now we are going to face this, which is called a curse by the Most High. This is one of the curses, one of many. The Lord shall scatter thee among all people, meaning the Lord is going to scatter us. We're not going to be together like we were intended to be. We're going to be scattered across the earth. Go ahead.
From the one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
And the Lord said, as a curse for not keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments, we're going to go and keep another God's laws, statutes, and commandments. So now we're going to worship that wood, which is that cross, and which is Christianity, and then we're going to worship that stone, which is that damn rock in Mecca, which is that Islam, and we're going to worship another God because we deserted our God. Keep going.
God. Verse 65. And among these nations thou shalt find no ease.
Thou shalt find what?
No ease.
You're not going to find any ease in these places that the Most High has scattered you into because you didn't keep his law, statutes, and commandments. Being in America is a curse. That is literally what God is saying here. America is a curse to black people. And you look at it as a blessing because your oppressor is so goddamn cunning. He can make you feel like this curse is a blessing. But this place is not your rest, man. This is not something that you should enjoy. If you're enjoying anything about America, it's because you are in the lust of America. You probably like the fact that you could be a homosexual here. You probably like the fact that you could smoke weed all day and not go to jail like so many other people about 5 years ago and before were doing. You understand? Mm-hmm. You probably like the fact that this place allows you to do whatever you want. You can be a woman if you're a man. You could be a man if you're a woman. You can be a pedophile. You can be a rapist. Like that one guy. What the hell is that dude's name? I don't know. Brock Turner, I think. Brock Turner, right? This dude was a pedophile. I mean, not a pedophile, rapist. And he raped a woman behind a trash can at like prom or something like that. And he got 16 months of probation. He didn't even get no jail time. You could be whatever you want, even a rapist in America. That's why you love America. Because this is the land of the free. Free to rape, free to rob, free to murder, free to pillage. Free to do whatever it is that your filthy lust is. And that's why you love this place. But us, we love righteousness. We love the kingdom of heaven. And that's why we're fighting for the kingdom of heaven. Right? But in this place, we're not going to have no rest. Right? Keep going.
And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. But Yahweh shall give thee there a trembling heart.
So in these places that we're scattered abroad to, we'll have a trembling heart. I mean, we'll be fearful, right? And fear, go ahead.
And failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind.
And sorrow, sadness of mind. Go ahead.
And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee.
And our life is going to hang in doubt before you. So now you could have the best time at that club. You could have the best time doing whatever it is that y'all do to have fun. But guess what? When it's time to drive home, if you see police lights behind you, you are going to you're going to use the bathroom on yourself damn near. You understand? Because you are so afraid, not because it's just the police and they're here to protect and serve, but you know what happened to George Floyd. You know what happened to that woman's son who he had a mental disorder. She called the police thinking they were going to come help her because he was having some sort of mental breakdown, and they came and shot the brother, man. So you know what happens in this place. So guess what? When the police lights come on, you think that you're going to die because these people are not here to help you. They're here to kill you. So no matter how much fun you having, you could be coming home from that vice president executive job at Chase or Bank of America or somewhere, and you are going to go to the bathroom on yourself when you see the police behind you. Because there is nothing that can comfort you in this place because this is not your rest. Right? Let's keep going.
And Salaki. But Yahweh shall give thee there a trembling heart and failing of eyes and sorrow of mind. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have none assurance of thy life.
Give me Jeremiah 50. That's going to be the last one. So we see here in this place, you don't have really an assurance of your life. This is not a place where you can feel like you are a part of this place. Don't let America get you caught up. You are separate. The scriptures say in Deuteronomy the 7th chapter, keep bringing the scripture up. We are separate. We are holy. We are above all the other nations. So we have to act as such and think as such. Don't never let these people beguile you into thinking that you're one of them. You're not. I hate to break it to you. But at the same time, you have to know these things, and you should also know that you're better than them. So now let's get Jeremiah 50. Let's get verse 17.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, verse 17. Israel is a scattered sheep.
This is part of that prophecy, that curse that we just read, right? We'd be scattered among all nations. Go ahead.
The lions have driven him away.
The lions have driven us away. We've been scattered because our enemies have scattered us. Go ahead.
First, the king of Assyria hath devoured him.
So first we went into that Assyrian captivity and we got beat the hell up. We got abused. You understand? We went into that captivity. Keep going.
And last, this Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon hath broken his bones.
And then Jeremiah is speaking from experience because he's in Babylon making this prophecy. He's saying the Assyrians had us jammed up, and now here we are in Babylon jammed up again. The Babylonians under Nebuchadnezzar are killing us, are doing the same things that America is doing. Keep going.
Therefore, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, the power of Israel, behold, I will punish the king of Babylon and his land.
He will do what?
Punish the king of Babylon and his land.
This is, listen, every class that I teach, I try to give a solution. Now, I done talked about all of these things, about how this is not our rest, but I want y'all to know something. There is something to look forward to. The Lord sees this thing, and he sees the king of Babylon, which is the powers that be here. And according to what we're talking about in this context and the way we breaking it down, is this is America. This Babylon is America. Once again, we broke it down a little bit earlier in Revelation. We find that Babylon is referenced as a place that we have to come out of. That was after this. So we know Babylon is a spirit, and that's the spirit on America. And the Lord is saying the king of Babylon, the powers that be in America, he's going to destroy them. Keep going. And the land, which is that which is what? That lake of fire, which is America on fire and all those that inhabit it. Keep going.
And his land, as I have punished the king of Assyria.
The same way he punished the king of Assyria. You know, the Lord dealt with the king of Assyria. He's going to deal with the king of Babylon. Keep going.
And I will bring Israel again to his habitation.
See, this is, once again, this isn't our rest. In America, this is not our rest. But the Lord is going to bring us into our what?
And I will bring Israel again to his habitation.
Our habitation. What's a habitation? That's your dwelling space. That's where you belong. My habitation is my home. Where the Lord is going to bring us not to Mother Africa. That's not the motherland. The scriptures say that Jerusalem is the mother of us all. And that's where we're going to go. We're going to go home, man. And that's something that you should look forward to. And that's why you shouldn't be comfortable in America. You should look at America. This is jail. This is hell. I don't want to be in this prison. I want to go home. Prisoners don't look at prison like, damn, I want to stay here. This is cool. I guess it's home. No, don't look at it like that. A good prisoner to the white man, he might look at this like, damn, I guess this is home. No, damn that. Don't have that spirit. I don't want to be here anymore. I want to go home. And that's what the Most High is saying he's going to do for us. The Most High is going to take us out of this hellhole, out of this prison, and he's going to take us home where we belong because it's our habitation. The Lord is going to do that for us, man. Let's keep going.
Salaki, 50 and verse 19. God. And I will bring Israel again to his habitation, and he shall feed on Carmel and Bashan, and his soul shall be satisfied upon Mount Ephraim and Gilead. Mm-hmm. In those days and in that time, saith Yahweh, the iniquity of Israel shall be sought for.
So now you're going to seek for some sort of in that day when the Lord brings us back to our land and establishes his kingdom, you're going to look for iniquity. You're going to look for a crackhead. You're going to look for somebody selling dope. You're going to look for a whore. You're going to look for all of those things. Keep going.
The iniquity of Israel shall be sought for, and there shall be none.
There will be no more sin. When that kingdom comes, you're not going to catch us as crackheads. We're not going to be junkies. We're not going to be a vile race of people that America has turned us into. We're not going to be that. The Lord is going to bring us back to our home, and we're going to dwell there in righteousness. There will be no homosexuality. There will be nothing that you find in America. America is Babylon and Egypt. To hell with this place. The Lord is going to burn it down and bring us to our home.
That's right.
And we're going to be sin-free. You won't have to worry about nobody robbing you. You won't have to worry about nobody stealing from you, hurting you, harming you or your child. You won't have to worry about that because the Lord is establishing a righteous kingdom, something that America could never do. As much as America could want to be righteous, even though they don't, as much as they could want to be righteous, they could never be righteous. These people, Esau was created as a vessel for destruction. This place is designed to be destroyed. Esau is designed to be destroyed. It's just what it is. So because that's the case, we have to not be like them. Let's be like this. This is what the Most High wants. This is what your Father wants. He's saying, listen, he wants you to be a sin-free people. He wants you to keep the law, the statutes, the commandments, do what he says. Keep going.
And there shall be none, and the sins of Judah, they shall not be found.
No sins of Judah, no sins of Israel. We will be one nation. Keep going.
For I will pardon them whom I reserve.
The Lord is going to pardon them who he reserves. All you got to do is fight this hell, man. Just know that this is not your rest. Know that you're not to be comfortable in America. Do not assimilate into American culture. Don't do none of that. Just do what Revelation 18 chapter said, which is, come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers in her iniquity and her sins, so that way you don't receive of her plagues. This is talking about, this scripture that we just read is talking about the fact that the Lord is going to pardon all of the things we did in the past as long as we come into this truth and serve him righteously. And if we can do that, you can save your soul alive. But you can't do that if you think that this is the place to be. You cannot save your soul alive if you think America is your rest. It's not. Your rest is in the Most High. You have something, sir?
I got 2 precepts.
You got it. Hell yeah, of course.
If you can you read? Can you give me Matthew? Was you done on that
yeah,
precept?
I'm done.
Okay. Matthew chapter 11, verse 28. And just like you said, to bring it on all the way home, like you said, to this is the negative part of it. This is the destruction that we're facing in this place. This is the rest that we don't have. But the light at the end of the tunnel, man, is we got to find in these precepts in this Bible. Go ahead and read.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 11 and verse 28. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden.
What color is this written in?
In red.
So that means this is Yahweh Shai Mashiach speaking.
Whom
the world really calls Christ. He's saying one more time.
Come unto me, all ye that are all ye that labor and are heavy laden.
Right. All ye that labor and are heavy laden. Christ said that, what do you say, Matthew in the 5th chapter, that the earth, I'm paraphrasing it wrong. I have to pull it up. It says, what's the paraphrasing? Matthew 5 and 3.
5 and 3.
The poor.
Oh, yeah, I got you. I know what you're talking about.
I got it right here. Matthew 5, blessed are the poor. Right. Move a little slow. But Christ said, blessed are the poor, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Like, he's working to help free Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans that are laboring and are heavy laden. Like, being a slave is hard, man. Like you said. Keep going.
And I will give you rest.
And Christ is going to give us rest. America is not going to give you rest.
Right.
Your oppressor is not going to give you rest. The prisons are not going to give you rest. Drugs are not going to give you rest. Following after whores is not going to give you rest. Right. Buying the next purse is not going to give you rest. Everything that we look for to numb the pain and distract us is not going to give us rest, man. Right. Following our King, obeying the laws of God, that's where we're going to find rest. Keep going.
Verse 29. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls.
Keep going.
For my yoke is easy and my burden is light.
Right. What does the Bible say about following the laws of God? Following the laws of God is not grievous. The yoke of being someone in the truth is hard work.
Right.
But it's easier than being a goddamn slave and being oppressed.
Right.
And why do I say that? Is because one, you're getting something for your work at the end of it.
Right.
And two, you may, like, when you're by yourself, you say, I don't have any money for diapers. You have a reason. It's not righteous. I could understand why a brother would say, I'm going to go sell drugs.
Right.
I don't know how I'm going to pay rent. I can understand why someone would go rob someone to pay the rent.
Right.
But when you're in the truth and you have brothers that can help you, you don't have an excuse to go rob someone for your diapers or to pay rent, etc., to be a whore, to send your children to school. You don't have that excuse anymore because you have a nation of people to help you. Right. So that's making that burden lighter and easier too. And I'll just give one more precept. Ezekiel 11 and 16. Okay, and that's it for me.
It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 11 and verse 16. Therefore say, thus saith the Most High Power, although I have cast them far off among the heathen, and although I have scattered them among the countries.
Right. And like you said, we're still in captivity. We're still in oppression. Right. We're still under these curses. The Lord has scattered us, put us among all these heathens. We still got to pay rent. We still got to get up and slave. We still got to worry about the gas in the car and all these bills, etc., etc., etc. Keep going.
Yet will I be to them as a little sanctuary in the countries where they shall come.
Right, like you might be suffering in hell in Venezuela.
Right.
You might be in poverty in Jamaica,
Right.
in Haiti, in Compton, in Arizona,
Right.
in Harlem. However, man, the Lord has set up this little sanctuary called the Israelite School of Universal and
Damn
Practical
right.
Knowledge, man,
Damn right.
under Command and General Yohana.
That's right.
And you can come into this place and you can have a little bit of rest and seek to get more rest following our King into the kingdom, man.
Right.
From this hell that we're living in and suffering in. You don't have to be doing this by yourself, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Come and be a part of this brotherhood, be a part of these sisters in this place as well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's a lot.
That's all you had, sir?
Kind.
Most high Christ. No, those were some extremely heavy precepts. That's the perfect way to end this class off. So with that, we're gonna close out the class. To want everybody for tuning in. Make sure if you're in the Arizona area, we have that school, this school, Salaki, on 28th Drive in Cactus. 12416 North 28th Drive is right there at the bottom of the screen. Make sure y'all pull up every Tuesday through Friday. We have our classes from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And then we, of course, have our Sabbath services every every Saturday from 11 to 1 p.m. If you Black, Hispanic, or Native American, make sure you show up, man, and enjoy this brotherhood with us and learn these scriptures. Come to these classes. This is the Spirit of the Lord. And if you want to find rest, if you want to find that little sanctuary that the Lord is offering in the land of your captivity, this is it. There's nowhere else. That's why we say we're the home of the truth, because this is home. All right? With that, shalom.